You ever notice how some people don't just walk out of your life? They stage an entire disappearance mission, like it's a James Bond film. One day, they're laughing at your jokes, texting you first, and checking in on you. The next, you're basically a piece of old furniture in their life. They walk past you, ignore you, and only notice you when you're in the way. And here's the cruel plot twist. Sometimes they don't even tell you they want you gone. They just start doing these little sneaky, soul-suffocating things that push you out without ever saying the words. They're not brave enough to say, "Hey, I don't want you around anymore." So instead, they'll kill you off socially, emotionally, and mentally until you do the work of leaving. 1. The silent sabotage. This is where it starts. They don't slam the door. They loosen the screws so it falls off one day. They used to laugh at your jokes. Now they respond with LOL, like they're texting under gunpoint. They used to ask how your day was. Now they forget you even exist until you pop up in their notifications. They might even start showing up late, canceling plans, or suddenly being too busy. Yet somehow, they're never too busy for other people. And it's not just what they stop doing, it's what they start doing. They'll leave you out of conversations, make decisions without telling you, and accidentally forget to invite you to things. These aren't accidents. This is calculated neglect. The best way to spot silent sabotage is to compare how they treat you now versus how they used to. If the shift is sudden, consistent, and only targeted at you, congratulations, they've quietly started packing your bags for you. 2. The effort withdrawal. You're the one calling, you're the one texting, you're the one checking in. And if you stop, the connection flatlines. They won't even notice. You're basically running a one-person friendship or relationship, and they're just showing up for the free snacks. Effort withdrawal is one of the clearest signs someone is ready to get rid of you, but doesn't want to look like the bad guy. So they'll simply stop feeding the connection until it starves to death. If you stop planning hangouts, you'll never see them again. If you stop texting, you'll never hear from them again. And the worst part, they'll act like you were the one who changed or gave up. 3. The indirect replacement. Here's where it gets ugly. They don't just stop investing in you. They start investing in someone else, and they'll make sure you see it. Suddenly there's a new best friend, new favorite coworker, or new person they spend all their time with. They'll post about them constantly, hype them up, and laugh at their jokes the way they used to laugh at yours. The sick part? Sometimes they will even use this new person to push you out faster. They'll invite them to everything while conveniently forgetting to invite you. They'll tell you how amazing this person is, like they're auditioning them for your old spot. If someone is replacing you, the pattern is always the same. The less time they spend with you, the more you hear about this new person. It's not a coincidence. It's a shift in loyalty. And no, it's not about being jealous. It's about recognizing that they've already mentally moved on from you, and they're making the transition public without saying a word. 4. The "you're the problem" game. Now this one is pure psychological warfare. Instead of simply admitting they don't want you around, they'll start subtly painting you as the problem. Suddenly every issue is somehow your fault. They'll accuse you of being too sensitive, too needy, too distant, too moody, basically whatever fits their narrative. And it's not always direct accusations. Sometimes it's little comments that chip away at your confidence. You've been acting weird lately. You're not as fun as you used to be. You've changed. The goal is simple. They want you to doubt yourself so much that you start believing they're justified in leaving. This tactic also makes them look like the victim when the relationship ends. They can tell everyone, "I tried, but they were impossible to deal with." And just like that, you're the villain in their story, even though they've been writing you out of it for months. 5. The slow emotional ghosting. This is the final stage, when the body is still there, but the soul is long gone. They'll still be in the same room, still reply to your messages, still technically be around, but there's no connection anymore. Conversations feel flat, laughs feel forced, and even when you're together, it feels like you're miles apart. Slow emotional ghosting is more painful than someone cutting you off completely, because it leaves you in limbo. You keep hoping things will go back to how they were, but deep down, you know they won't. You're clinging to a version of them that doesn't exist anymore. Now, here's the harsh truth. When someone wants to get rid of you, you can't force them to keep you. You can't beg, bribe, or argue your way back into their good graces. The second you start trying to convince someone to keep you around, you've already lost. And I know that sounds cold, but it's the most freeing thing you can realize. If someone wants out, let them. People who actually value you won't make you guess. They won't make you fight for scraps of attention. They'll show up consistently, clearly, and without games. So if you've spotted even one of these signs, stop chasing. Step back. Watch what they do when you're no longer putting in all the effort. If they don't move toward you, they've already moved on from you. And trust me, losing someone who quietly discarded you is never a loss. It's a release. Because here's the part they don't expect. When you stop fighting to stay in someone's life, you free yourself to meet people who will actually fight to keep you in theirs. So here's the savage playbook to make them regret even thinking they could phase you out. 1. The immediate pullback. The second you notice the silent sabotage or effort withdrawal, stop feeding the connection. No warning, no "we need to talk" speech, no passive-aggressive posts on social media. Just stop. When you cut the emotional oxygen, you put them in the same position they put you in. If they cared, they'll notice real quick. If they don't, you've saved yourself months of slow, painful rejection. The beauty of this, you don't even have to announce it. They'll feel the absence of your energy like a cold draft in an empty room. 2. Stop explaining yourself. When someone's checked out, explanations are pointless. They're not trying to understand you. They're trying to justify their exit. So every time you explain, defend, or justify yourself, you're giving them more evidence to use against you. Here's your new rule. Say less. Do less. Let them fill in the blanks. Silence is more unsettling than a 3-paragraph text explaining how hurt you are. Because here's the psychological trick. People are far more likely to rethink a decision when they don't know exactly where you stand. Leave them wondering. 3. Match their energy. If they're replying slow, reply slower. If they stop inviting you, stop inviting them. If they're giving you one-word answers, give them no words. And I don't mean this in a petty mirror them way. I mean fully adjusting to their new level of investment without complaint. The less you react, the more obvious it becomes that you're not dependent on their attention. 4. Upgrade yourself publicly. Nothing flips the script faster than when the person they thought they could get rid of starts thriving without them. And yes, I mean thriving where they can see it. Post the wins, post the fun nights out, post the glow up. Not because you're desperate for them to see, but because it sends a clear message. I was never stuck here. You were just part of the background. Humans have a deep, irrational fear of being replaced. The second they realize you're living better without them, they start questioning if letting you go was a mistake. 5. Close the door completely. Here's the final move, and it's the one most people don't have the guts to do. Once you've emotionally detached, shut it down. Because the truth is, the only reason people think they can get rid of you is because they assume you'll be there if they change their mind. Prove them wrong. Here's the savage reality check. When someone starts easing you out, it's rarely about you. Sometimes it's boredom. Sometimes it's their own insecurities. Sometimes they're just chasing novelty because their ego needs fresh attention to feel alive. And here's the kicker. They often come back. Not because they suddenly value you, but because they ran out of distractions and realized you were the stable one. Your job? By the time they circle back, you've evolved so much that they can't even find the version of you they left. So, the next time you catch someone pulling these moves, don't beg, don't plead, don't even warn them. Pull back, level up, and let them feel exactly what life is like without you in it. Because people only try to get rid of what they think is replaceable. Your mission is to make sure they learn, painfully, that you're not. The comment of the day goes to Jerry B., and he said, "You always inspire me to want to improve with pleasure." Glad to hear it. Self-growth isn't a prison sentence, unless you like pain.